is Joyce Ciccone, and I'm the Vice President of the Federal Sales Team, and that is consisting of Doug's group, which they focus on the Department of Defense clients, both uniformed and the civilian side. And we also have a team that focuses on the civilian agencies. So what I hope to be able to do today in answering some of the questions is give you a broad idea about what other agencies, civilian and DoD, are doing to hire the right types of candidates.
Good morning, I'm Sandy Swinenberg, and I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff for Human Capital of the brand new, newly established as of October of last year, Army Contracting Command. And our main focus is hiring 1102s, contracting professionals for the Department of Army.
I'm Dave Anderson. I'm at U.S. Central Command in the Operations Directorate. The insourcing that they were talking about earlier, I'm on the user end of Monster.com and getting qualified candidates off of our insourcing transition from contractor base to a civilian base, and getting the kind of people that we need at CENTCOM to meet our mission requirements, most importantly, in a timely manner. The
biggest challenge we have right now is what my director likes to call the bathtub effect. We are real heavy on experience at the 2025 year mark, and then real heavy at the 5 or less year experience. Where we have a problem is between the 6 and 20 year experience. So we are looking at targeting mid-level careers, and with the 1100 series of the requirements that we have to meet DOE requirements and the certification levels, it's a little bit difficult, but we're using the new expedited hiring authority to hopefully help fill in some of those gaps, and we are targeting from private industry people that have contracting or procurement experience, and then quickly getting them up to speed so that they meet the certification. With the expedited hiring authority, it's a new program, so there's a learning curve. So we haven't been able to take real advantage of it recently, but it looks like we have more and more successes with that.
From us, we're looking for very specified capabilities, counter-narcotics specifically, one of our most recent examples, where we're going out into the system, asking for people with counter-narcotics backgrounds to come in and work with us, getting 80, 90 candidates, and no one having a counter-narcotics background because of what's either in our PDs being matched to what's in the database of applicants, or actually between our servicing, and we're serviced by the Air Force as our component, their understanding of what the Joint Command requires in specific areas that don't match with a specific Air Force MOS or job skill set for our positions. So those challenges, while we're at war right now and trying to bring in the right people and then not getting the right kind of applicants, I look forward to learning about expedited ability to hire, because we're really being challenged right now.
One of the things we've done is we just recently hired someone to focus on human capital strategy, and she is taking the lead on our recruitment efforts. And we're going to establish a corporate recruitment team. The corporate recruitment team will include not just HR specialists, but predominantly acquisition professionals, and we're going to get them trained on marketing, how to market our jobs, and how to recognize, looking at someone's resume, what kind of appointment we could bring them on using expedited hire or veterans, a veteran appointment, or any to train those acquisition professionals with some HR, to give them some HR skills, and capture best practices from across the command. We plan on doing corporate recruitment efforts. We're going to develop some recruitment tools and deploy those across the command. We have some best practices out there with some of our agencies. When we were established, we pulled in different pieces from different parts of the Army into this. So it's also an education process trying to get us into one organization. So it's been interesting. And a couple of the other things we're looking at is standardizing vacancy announcements, making them plain English, easy to understand. If you've been in government for a while, you can read those vacancy announcements and know what they mean. if you're a brand new college kid looking at those vacancy announcements, or you're someone from private industry who has no experience with the government, you don't know what those say. You don't understand what they mean. So one of the things we're looking at is to develop some vacancy announcements with plain language. And under expedited hiring authority, you have to have highly qualified criteria. So we're looking at establishing that highly qualified criteria that would also be written in plain, normal English, not government-ese, which is one of my words. And then we're also going to partnership with professional organizations, NCMA, and other partner government organizations, professional organizations.
And I'd like to jump in a little bit on what Sandy's saying, is it's really looking at doing things differently than what you've done in the past. A lot of the clients that we're talking to now, they're using or starting to investigate the web and putting together a recruitment brand. So it's not just an event. It's getting your name out there. It's getting your organization out there. And it's not just a job posting anymore. As Sandy said, you've got to make it so that it's attractive to the types of people you're trying to entice to look at your organization. And what the clients are starting to do now is they're really using the new social media websites. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, and it's no longer just for the emerging workforce. There are organizations that you would be surprised that actually have Facebook pages that are using Twitter to get to not just the emerging workforce but other people. Some of these websites now are being linked in. For example, Facebook just recently linked in with LinkedIn. So you have a whole nother pool of candidates, but in order to attract them, you can't just put a job posting or vacancy announcement in front of them. You have to be out there with your brand and talking to them about what you do and what your mission is, so that you're reaching people who in the past didn't even think that they'd be qualified for what you're offering. So you really have to take a look at how are you representing your organization to this workforce that you're trying to attract.
And that's very different than the way we're approaching it right now. We're looking at very specific descriptions so that the people that are looking to come to work for us actually meet the skill sets we need. We go generic, I get hundreds of applicants, which then take me an immense amount of time to go through to get down to the 4 or 5 applicants. I'd rather get 8 applicants of highly qualified people than 200 applicants, because I'm not looking at bringing in entry level at where I'm working at now. We're all looking at mid-grade and higher level positions. So a little bit different. Actually, we've been fighting with the Air Force that get away from generic. We want to be able to specify what we want out there so that we're getting the right kind of recruits in for us. Within my organization, I have a staff of 1, okay? And we're moving actually to bringing in 2 more HR people. They're priority fills based kind of on what they were saying earlier today. Our staff is moving. We're going from a civilian pool within the operations directorate of about 30 to just around 100 over about a 1-year period. So that level of expansion, we're really on the bow wave of the effects of it. And then further along, as we talk about NSPS and then some of the wake effect behind us on what it's going to take through to get NSPS activities and pay pool events occupied, we're going to need additional HR people to support that.